The vision module is more for like desktop and laptop computers, and then the perspective app is for, or perspective module is for the mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of the Unofficial Ignition podcast. Today we are going to talk about the recent update that Ignition got, 8.0, where they introduced Ignition Perspective. I'm joined by Matthias, the CTO of Inuda. And Matthias, the new version with Perspective, what is that? What is Perspective in Ignition?
So Perspective is just a new module to Ignition, and it's like sort of like the vision component or vision module, but this Perspective module is then more like specified for smartphones and tablets because it has some containers that it's more easy to make some solutions that are like
so when you scale down the big system to a tablet, it doesn't really work.
Exactly. So when you build something in Vision, it's not possible to when you have like the resolution or like the placement of all components, and you put it down to a tablet or a smartphone, then you will have a very, very like tight small image that you need to zoom in to see everything. And then in the Perspective app, you can just like make those like with breakpoint containers, and different kind of the containers will like sort of like orient and place the components differently, so that you can have for a smartphone for the size of the screen there, you will have like the components oriented and placed in one way, and then when you go up to a tablet or like for a desktop computer for that matter, then the orientation and like the placement of the components will be different. So
it's built for those employees in the company that is on the move and use data out in the field. And why is that important? What can it do that Vision can't do?
So what it can do is that in the Vision module you only have access to like the resources in the gateway for example the tags or like the alarm notifications and stuff like that. In Perspective, here you also have the possibility to use the camera in the cell phone or the smartphone, so you can actually use a barcode scanner.
The thing that makes the phone smart.
Exactly. You have all these other peripherals that you can use from the smartphone as well, and also you can use the GPS location, stuff like that. So it has some nice features that you can actually use now in the Ignition project.
Built into the modules.
Exactly.
When you need them.
Yeah.
And can you give an example of when that might be useful?
Well, an example could be that you have a solution or a project where you from the Vision module or Vision client can control maybe a pump station or something, where you have a pump, you can control it, you can see the whole overview of the whole plant, the valves, the analog inputs, everything, you can see everything with the pipes and everything. And then an operator could be like going out to that specific plant and want to do some maintenance on the pump, one of the pumps maybe, and then through the Perspective client he can then it could be using either the GPS coordinates or something like detect he's going on to the network out there, and then when he opens the Perspective app, then the contextual design of the application will then see that detects that he's actually on the plant, and then just open that plant for him immediately, instead of he has to like dive in and navigate to that specific plant. Then he's there.
1 out of 400.
Exactly, something like that. So it could also be just a QR code placed on the pump itself or something like that. He just uses his smartphone using the barcode scanner in the Perspective app, and then it just directs him directly to the control of that pump, and then he can like control the pump. Maybe he can turn off the alarm, so like the control room using Vision won't see any of the alarms and can see, okay, now it's actually in a maintenance mode or state or something like that. So he can do whatever he needs to do and trigger the alarms he wants. It doesn't matter, like it doesn't interfere with the normal production for the rest of the solution.
So you can design specific use cases for these Perspective modules.
Yeah, okay. You can also build like the whole solution in Perspective,
Okay.
And then just Right now they have made it so that you have like this sort of perspective app where you can open the project through that on your smartphone or your tablet, but you can also access it through the browser. So you can use that on your own computer as well, and just access the whole project in perspective through the browser. So that's definitely also a possibility. But in the future, they will make a desktop version for perspective as well.
Okay.
So
you have
right
the
now,
option of designing what you want.
Yeah, exactly. But right now, I would say that the Vision module is more for like desktop and laptop computers, and then the perspective app or perspective module is for the mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets.
So when you start designing systems and figuring out what people want their old systems to do in Ignition, you'd probably begin with Vision to get some of the functionalities working, and then when you include the whole organization, the whole enterprise, you'd find use cases where perspective probably is more suitable to solve some of that, maybe.
Yeah, so sometimes it can be that you simply just start build everything in Vision, but it could also be that you have some special use cases where it doesn't make sense to build anything in Vision. Where you say, okay, for example, if you have a plant where the operator needs to go out and then he has some like access control or something like that, that might not make sense to build in the Vision, because they're always in the control room at a stationary location.
So that functionality has no function in that.
Exactly, they can't use the access control for anything. Maybe they would be able to see who's accessing where, but like that data could just be saved in the database or in a tag or something like that. But the actual access control could be through the perspective app, where you go out to the place and it would use the GPS coordinates or something from the device and see, oh, now you're standing directly in the location where you need to like unlock the door or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you can do it through the perspective app. So it depends. Again, it depends very much on what you need to do and the application and the project itself. And so, but certainly there's like some features that is more suitable for the Vision module, and then again features that is more suitable for the perspective module. So one of the cool things about perspective is that it's responsive. It has like different containers, which makes the whole project responsive. So it doesn't matter if you use a small smartphone or a tablet or using the browser on your computer. It will just resize itself to whatever the size of the screen is.
With the orientation or the size of the screen.
Yeah. So for example, if you have a smartphone and you have it like in the horizontal state, and then when you turn it around in the vertical state, then it will like, it can change the layout of the application. It doesn't have to, but it can.
Right.
So you have the possibility to change the project and the solution and or the client, so to speak, to whatever you need it to. So with that you can actually like add functionality to it. So in one orientation you can see like the buttons and stuff like that, or maybe like the controls, and then when you flip it and turn around, then you can maybe see a graph instead. So
it's more an app almost approach than an actual static thing that you can build in Vision.
Exactly. So you can like add like different functionality depending on the orientation of the screen, which is very cool, I think, because then it gives a whole new dimension to the project.
Utilizes what a phone can do. And
exactly.
Why it's smart. Cool.
Mm.
I think that's it for now.
All right.
Thank you for joining me, Mathias.
No problem.
I'll see you next week.
See you.